My students love playing Spyfall. It's easy to learn, quick to play, and amazing for developing conversation skills. But is it the ultimate ESL speaking game? I think it might be. I'm Will from Enchanted ESL, and I'm going to tell you what Spyfall is, how to play, and how to best use it in your classroom. By the end, I reckon I'll have convinced you to at least try it out in your classes. First of all, I have to point out that this is a game that costs money. I picked up this one, the original version, for about $25, but I've seen it online for more, up to $40. It's not cheap. There are some themed versions and there's an update called Spyfall 2, but I recommend you get the original base version. If you can't get it where you are, or you think it's too expensive, stick around for later, because I'll show you how to get my free version. There's also a free web version for those online tutors, so you don't have to buy the box at all. Spyfall is a social deduction game. One person is a spy, and all the others have to ask questions to find out who the spy is. On the box, the game says it's for 3 to 8 players. I disagree. You can play with 3 players, including yourself as the teacher, but it's not as much fun as it's really easy to find the spy. Ideally, you want at least 4 players. And you can play with a bigger group than 8 too. What you do is you just divide them into smaller groups, about 5 or 6 works best, and have them play simultaneously. The box also claims it's for 13-year-olds and older. Again, I disagree. The rules are easy enough that 10-year-olds can grasp it. The only thing is, if you're playing with younger students, you might want to remove some of the adult-themed cards like Casino and Nightclub and a few others. There's also an estimated time of 15 minutes, but really you can play for shorter or for longer. I found each round takes about 5 minutes, so that's the minimum time, but you can stretch it out for half an hour or even more. Now let's head to the board to see how to play. Players in Spyfall are all in the same location. There are 30 possible locations, which you can see in the middle of the rules booklet. You should have this page open at all times so everyone can see. And if you're playing online, make sure everybody can see all of the locations on screen. In the box there are 30 plastic wallets, one for each location. All the cards in each wallet have the name of the location on them and a fun picture. Well, not all of them. The top one is the spy card. It's important that the top card is always the spy, because when you take the cards out, you can count off 1 for each player, and you know that the spy card is in play. So you take the cards out and shuffle them. We're playing with 4 players, so we need 4 cards. Deal them out to the players face down. They should look at their card in secret. Now everyone knows the location, except for the spy, but nobody else knows who the spy is. If the other players catch the spy, they win. If the spy knows the location, they win. It's time to start asking questions to find that damned spy. The first turn goes to the person who was the spy in the previous round. But if it's the first round, choose someone at random. In this case, the teacher, that's us, is going first. We ask a single question to a single student. We're going to ask Gina. We know the location is the submarine, so we want to ask questions that confirm that they know it's a submarine and they're not the spy. But we don't want to give too much away, otherwise the spy will work out where we are. Questions should be about the location in general, not about what little things are in the picture. We ask, Gina, what are the views like in this place? This is a good question because Gina has to answer in a specific way. She says, I can't really see much, so we know she's probably not the spy. Or is she? Was that a lucky, vague answer? Now it's Gina's turn because she just answered a question. She can ask a question to anybody except the person who just asked her. She asks, Hannah, how often do you go here? Hannah answers, I have never been in one of these things. This answer gives the spy quite a lot of information. Hannah now asks Jan, what is your favourite thing about this place? Jan replies, I love being here with my friends. This answer is suspicious because you don't really go on a submarine with your friends, and it may cause the end of the round. The round ends in one of 3 ways. The first never happens in my classes. The game suggests you set a time limit of 8 minutes for questioning and then you take a vote at the end, but my games never go that long, so I don't even bother setting the clock. The other 2 ways happen a lot. One option is that the spy figures out the location, they turn over their card to reveal that they are the spy, and they declare the answer. If they're correct, they win. If they're wrong, they lose. The other way is the players find the spy. If a player thinks they know who it is, they can make an accusation. For example, Hannah thinks Jan's answer was dodgy, so accuses him. Now the other players, not including Jan, vote on whether they agree. There can be discussion here, and the accused can defend themselves, but players should be careful not to reveal too much information in this discussion, because if the vote doesn't pass, the spy may pick up vital info. For the vote to pass, all other players need to agree. If they don't, the vote fails and the game continues. The accuser, in our case Hannah, cannot make another accusation this round. If everyone votes for the accused player, they reveal if they were the spy or not. If they were the spy, they lose and everyone else wins. If they were not the spy wins because they caught the wrong person. Important rule, a spy cannot guess the location while a vote is underway. So if they are being accused, they can't take a pot shot and hope to get lucky. If you're playing several rounds, you can keep track of points. although I don't really bother. The game is more fun without a competitive element. But if you want to, points are as follows. If the spy wins, they get 4 points. If the non-spies win, each gets 1 point, and if they won by voting, the player who initiated the vote by accusing the spy gets an extra point. Either way, once the round is over, put the cards back in the plastic wallet, making sure the spy is on top. And then if you want, you can randomly select another set of cards and play another round. Do you think Spyfall is a great game for your classroom? Hit the like button and let me know in the comments. What I love about Spyfall is how it structures conversation and allows everybody to contribute equally. It practices asking questions, which is tricky for many students, and it also forces them to think about their word choice. At first, it can be tricky, especially for younger students. Coming up with the right kind of question and not giving too much away takes some time to get used to. Also, students tend to talk about what's in the picture, but they shouldn't do this. It's about the place in general. What's on the picture is just there for fun. So be patient and treat the first few times like trial runs. I like to take part myself because then I can introduce new questions in different language. Another great aspect of the game is how you can add challenge for more advanced and mature students. You may have noticed that at the bottom of the cards there's a role, for example sailor or cook. If students feel confident, you can bring in the idea of answering questions in your role. This is more challenging, but it adds another layer of intrigue. However, be warned that some of the roles are a little bit complicated and not all students will know what their role means. So try that out, but you don't need to do it to create an enjoyable experience. I've tried out Spyfall with lots of different groups and all of them loved it. As a quick bit of fun at the end of a session or a longer, calmer game, it really has everything. Either way, you've got nothing to lose by trying it out because you can get hold of my free version. Sure, you don't get the fancy art, and you may need to buy some plastic wallets or some elastic bands to keep the cards together, but that might be better than paying $40. To get it, all you have to do is sign up to the Enchanted ESL monthly newsletter, where you can also get a whole bunch of other games and roleplays, lesson plans, and more. The sign up link is on screen now and in the description. And if you're doing it online, you can get that free web app in the description below too. So, are you convinced? Is Spyfall the ultimate ESL speaking game? Now, I don't know if I could give it that title because there are other games that are just as fun and get your students talking, like Similo. If you're not using Similo in your classes already, then you really should be. Luckily, I've got a video explaining how to play and it's right here. I've been Will from Enchanted ESL, wishing you all the joy and success in your teaching. See ya!